Hello, this is just a quick guide to the birthplace of the vile Grandmaster Nightfall. This Nightfall has Overload and Unstoppable champions. You can also get all different types of elemental shields. It's random which ones you'll get, depending on the chieftains that spawn, so you need to be prepared for all of them. There's also Void Burn active as well at the moment. I'm bringing a Invis Hunter with Orpheus Riggs Tether. I'm bringing the big tether, because I'll be using that in the boss room to try and control the ad spawns, as well as Witherhorde for killing the enemies. Galahorn, we're using Galahorn, and Red Herring will get buffed by that, so we do even more damage with our rockets. As you can see, Remedy's the one with Galahorn, so it's going to be buffing our rocket damage. He's also using blinding grenades and a bubble for protection. Blinding grenades are really good at controlling the ads as well. Limonada is bringing another Invis Hunter with Graviton Forfeit for longer Invis time, and Divinity to deal with the Overload champions. The enemies that you get here at the start are patrol level enemies in terms of their health bar, but they do the damage of Grandmaster enemies, so you have to be very careful.
Oh, yeah, you must be right. Mind taking care of it?
If you want to play safer, you probably shouldn't sparrow past them, but it's right at the start anyway, so even if you die, you can just reset very quickly. As you come down through this cave, you're going to have two Overload champions and a whole bunch of ads pushing up. Remedy is using Lucent Finisher as well. You can see the heavy ammo that spawns when he gets finishes on champions. This next section here, the snipers at the very back are dangerous. You also have an Unstoppable champion that spawns. By coming up close on the right hand side, it gives you an angle on the snipers, but you can also Galahorn them from the back of the room as well. For the plate section here, it doesn't matter how many people you have on the plate, it progresses at the same rate. But using an Invis Hunter, we can get rid of the plate without killing too many of the enemies.
Guardian down.
Enemies will just keep respawning. So just by staying on the plate and progressing it all the way, we'll then be able to kill the enemies and continue on. Oh, God to your name. Now you've got to watch out the enemies on the left. None of them have snipers, but they're all orange bars so they can kill you quite quickly. Across the gap here, we've got an Unstoppable and Overload champions. The tether does quick work with them. We could have tried to get a finisher on them for the heavy ammo, but unfortunately did too much damage. Coming up to the next section is where you get the random shields. So the Chieftains up in the next room will either have Arc, Solar or Void shields. There's 2 of them and it's random which ones you get. There'll also be another Overload champion in the room as well. As you enter the door, there'll be a lot of enemies trying to come out, so trying to throw Wither Horde at the entrance here to deal with the enemies that are exiting. And pushing into this doorway can be rough as well. You have a lot of enemies trying to push out, but then also the room inside is quite tight. We find coming up here on the left, being behind, a bit safer. But here, if you have like a well or a bubble or anything like that, it can make it a lot easier. See, that was one of the Chieftains down there. You have another one as well. Both of them have random shields. You'll recognize this room when you get to the boss room, when you get teleported out of the boss for the first phase. It's the exact same room, so any ammo you leave on the ground here will still remain here for when you get back here another time. So you can strategically leave heavy ammo on the ground. If you don't need it now, you could use it later. Also got to be careful of these enemies on the far side. Oh, it's spawned behind me. So with this Overload champion up here, we're going to try and finish it. We get a Lucent finisher on him. And that way we can leave heavy ammo on the ground for later. So yeah, we just leave that heavy ammo. It should be there after the first phase of the boss. Other one's finishable. Because we've got Invis Hunters, we're able to capture the plate up here without worrying too much about the ads. But without Invis Hunters, you just want to stick together, use a Well of Radiance or a bubble to capture it. You see, once the line reaches the outside, the plate's done capturing. So I'm able to leave. There's no Overload champions or anything in this room. So we don't have to kill any of the enemies. Go and invis him. Oh. Yeah, because we've got invis, we can just move past enemies. But if you don't have invis, again, you probably just have to kill them. Deal with them one side at a time. This is another room that you'll see during the boss phase as well, so again, any ammo you leave on the ground here will reappear during the boss phase. Sometimes we get enemies running up behind us, so just checking behind to make sure we're not getting anything there. There you can see them coming across now from that side. And because increase in melee damage is on, they punch you in the back, they one-shot you. We do have an Overload champion up ahead who's got a sniper. You've got to be very careful about that. Be careful peeking him. Alright, so I'm going to leave that heavy ammo on the ground for later, so it should be there during the boss phase again. In this room, being up on the sides is a lot safer, I find. The overloads don't come up here. The other adds can jump up. Just got naded. Yeah, all we've got left are the two overload champions. There's a lot of enemies down the bottom of this bridge here, so I'm going to launch my tether down there. And there's heavy ammo on the ground, so I'm going to go back for it. There are two unstoppable champions down here as well. One on each side. And two of the big chieftains. The boss room now. The ads are going to spawn with the boss at the top, so we want to try and control those ad spawns. An overload champion will be there as well that we have to kill before we push the boss. As soon as you push the boss, you get teleported out of here. So we want to try and take care of the ads. The ads do keep respawning though, so you can't stay here and just play around with the boss forever, because you'll keep having to deal with more and more ads. Overload champion's dead. Getting more ad spawns now in the middle. Using rockets here because we know we're going to get finishes on overload champions, so it's worth just using the ammo. Some more heavy ammo drop as well. Plenty heavy for me. Yeah, if you have your streamer RNG button, make sure you press it for the ammo as well. I'm already full ammo, but fire team probably needs some heavy. We're going to try and get another finisher on him. That's the heavy brick from before, the finer brick that we got the finisher on last time. We're in here. So if you were low on heavy, I'd be able to get this one anyway, and then another one. Alright, once we get back in there, more ads are going to spawn, and an unstoppable champion, so we want to try and take care of that. Unstoppable's dead. We just need to deal with the boss. Little more ad spawns as well. I'm using my rocket on the ad clear just because it's easy to get rid of them all. Boss loves to move around a lot though. Yeah, because we've got plenty of heavy, it's just safe to use all your rockets at dealing with the ads. Especially if you've got a Galahorn with you, giving you wolf pack rounds. Similar to before, we want to be very careful of that overload sniper at the back. Can one-shot you. And careful of any ads that want to sneak up behind you as well. As soon as you jump over to this section here, that's when the overload can actually get you. You're in range. See the heavy ammo from earlier is still there.
Guardian down.
Got him overloaded in the nade. Full ammo. Alright, let's go. Again, using my tether to control the ad spawns. Now we can get rid of the boss after we deal with the overload first. Overload's dead. We've got ads spawning on us again. Again, they keep spawning over and over again. Just maining the rockets. If you have a well or something like that, it could be handy as well. Nice.
Finch, the scorn have been dealt with for the moment.
Never cease to amaze, you know? Thanks
If
for
you have
the
any
hard
questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing, it really helps me out. Thanks.